Christian apologetics is a lot like Christian contemporary music. It's very ghetto. But when I was a teenager, I was not allowed to listen to the rock bands because, you know, it was Satan's music. So, you know, my brother and I, we picked up on the greats like Petra and Barnabas and Daniel Band and of course Striper. You know, the reason for this was because I just wasn't allowed to listen to, you know, popular music, to secular rock music. But, you know, my parents allowed me to listen to this because it had positive messages about Jesus and Christianity. And we would go to concerts, and they would, at every single Christian rock concert I've been to, you know, there is a testimony and there is an altar call. And in interviews, Christian singers talked on and on and on about how the mission was to, you know, save lost souls and to evangelize the world. And yet, you know, you can only buy Christian music in bookstores. And the people who attended these Christian rock concerts were just like me. They were, you know, Christians who weren't allowed to listen to worldly music. It's very ghetto with this veneer on it, like we're doing this for the kingdom. But in actual fact, this is all about just making Christians feel better about being Christians. This is what Christian apologetics is. I'm not convinced in the slightest that there's ever been somebody who's come to faith because they read Josh McDowell's case or More Than a Carpenter and went, wow, he makes a great intellectual case for this. You know, very much like Christian music is all just for Christians, Christian apologetics is all about making Christians feel better about the intellectual merits of their faith convictions.
I just did, by the way, it's going to be on Patreon as soon as we're done with this live, a response that Apologia did to William Lane Craig's almost unbelievable admission. The level he admitted to this was beyond any other admission I've heard before. He literally used the phrase where in the middle of it, where he's like, well, if I thought, you know how he talks, really grabs you with his emotions and stuff. I thought this message is so great that if there's a chance, 1 in a million chance that this is true, that I would believe, and sure enough, he does. And I had to incorporate this here.
You mean not good like 1 out of 100?
I'd say more like 1 out of 1,000,000.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
You know, Bart Ehrman always talks about Judas, and did Judas hang himself or did he fall down and burst asunder? You know, like my KJV there, burst asunder. Isn't it possible that Judas like hung himself and then as he was dying, like he slid, the branch broke or something, he was over a cliff and he fell down, and isn't that possible? Well, yeah, I mean, that's possible. Well, that's it. That's all I need. Right? We're all done. And the reason that that's so effective for a Christian apologist is that they're starting from a conclusion.
Yep.
And the conclusion is, we know for sure that this is the word of God. It is inspired. It is inerrant. And that my God is the right God, obviously. And so when you start there, you know that it has to be true.
Yes.
You know that it has to be historically reliable.